So I look really weird with no brows on and all this makeup. I'm gonna do my everyday brow routine. This is what I do basically every day if I don't want super glam on fleek brows. If I'm wearing minimal makeup or soft makeup, this is what I'll do. I use the Anastasia brow pencil in taupe since I have the gray silver hair. I need something more cool toned. I've tried the NYX taupe or blonde one and it's too warm for my hair, even though I do like that pencil. Maybe if I change my hair color I'll use that since it is slightly cheaper. I wasn't born with great brows, so I definitely have to draw them in. They don't really grow here at the tail, so I have to make my own tail. So I can do another video of my like glam brows, and I use the pomade for that because it's a little bit stronger and a little bit more, what's the word I want to use, dramatic. So anyway, this is what I do. I usually brush them out, the little hair I do have, and I just start at the bottom and kind of make a line. It's really hard to do this and talk. Ooh, the pressure is on. And I'll arch my brow so that I can see kind of where my natural brow would be, and just basically draw a line very softly. You don't want to go in too harsh too quickly, because then it can look way too fake and dark, even though these probably look fake since they are drawn on. Then I'll just start, after I draw the line underneath, I'll just start using feathering motions to kind of fill in where I have sprouse hairs, and then start working on the tail of the brow. And basically draw it to the thickness I like. Depending on my mood, I'll draw thicker ones or thinner ones. Today I'll just go in the middle. And then arch my brow again and start pulling down towards the ear. Try to go where your natural brow is as much as possible. If you start trying to draw an unnatural brow shape on yourself, it will look fake and it'll definitely change your face structure. And brows frame the face. They are the most important thing on the face, in my opinion, to have done right. So if your brows aren't right and you can have the best makeup on, you're not going to look right. So I just keep going back and filling it in, and it's okay if you make mistakes. There's definitely ways to clean it up. But once I get the tail to the way I like, I'll go back in and start deepening and darkening underneath, and then going back to the tail. And remember, just use very light strokes. Don't hold your pencil up here. It's going to be too harsh. I hold mine all the way back here, very gently, like you're painting. And just use the soft strokes. And then I'll go back in and start filling in the front of the brow using very, very light strokes. This brow, I'm pretty sure most women who do their brows have a favorite brow. This is my least favorite one. It always gives me problems. It's really sparse here in the front, and I'll do it and then I'll take a picture and realize there's a spot missing. But to help control that, you want to go back in with your spoolie and brush it out, because that will blend out whatever product's in there covering those spots. And again, if it's not perfect, it's okay. I will show you how to go in and fix that. Basically, you want your tail of your brow, you don't want it to go past your outer corner of your eye. So from your nose to your eye, you want it to go right about there. If you go any further, they'll be too long. Any shorter, it won't look right either. So just keep going in until it's the depth and color and fullness that you desire. But yeah, nowadays brows are everything, so. And again, I tend to brush the front more than I do the back because I want that a bit more blended and not as harsh. I don't really like the ombre brow. I think that looks kind of fake on me. On other people it looks great. On me it doesn't look great. So sometimes I like them just as full in the front, but a little bit more blended. So that one's pretty much done. If there's any mistakes, I'll go back in and clean it up with concealer. And then I'll move on to my favorite brow over here. And basically we're just doing the same thing. Making a faint line at the bottom, bringing it out, arching the brow so you can see where your natural brow arch is, and then slowly feathering it in. And take your time, don't be in a rush. And I know a lot of people, the first time they do their brows, they're scared to death. It looks weird to them. I remember the first time I did mine, I was like, oh my god, I look ridiculous. But then you just start looking ridiculous without them. But I don't like going out in public without my brows on. I will, like, don't get it twisted. I'll go out with no makeup on, and I don't care. But I always feel more complete if I at least brush in my brows slightly. But again, just working on that outer tail part, because that's the part you want to be the darkest and most defined. Making sure you're not going past that outer eyelid. And depending on your eye shape, you'll have a different eyebrow. So, and your face structure, and then going back in. And my brow doesn't come out as long. Your brow is supposed to end from the corner of your eye, or what your nostril is, like this. So this is where it ends. From your nose pupil, that's where your arch should be, and here that's where your tail should be. So that's just kind of a rule of thumb. You don't have to follow that, but just a nice rule of thumb. So sometimes I'll come here and just draw a faint line. So now I know that's where my brow should end. And I'll just go in and start feathering that out a little more. And the beauty of the brow pencil is if you make a mistake, it's easy to fix because you can just go back in with the spoolie and blend out any harshness. I love this brow. It looks perfect. And this one I have to like really struggle with. I wish, why can't God have just given me 2 decent brows? But I guess not all are blessed with brows. And then the girls I know that have brows, they complain about them, having to pluck them and thin them out and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you don't even know what you have. It's amazing what you have. And then I'll go back and kind of look at both of them and see if they're the same shape. And, you know, see if there's any other spots I need to fill in. And, like, what I like to do sometimes if I'm especially in a hurry doing my brows and I don't really have time to sit and pay attention to them and make sure they're perfect, I'll just throw my brow pencil in my purse. So, you know, sometimes you get in the car and your makeup looks completely different. You're at home and you're like, yes, slay, perfect, on fleek. And then you get in the car, it's like, okay, ho, what were you thinking? But, you know, the struggles of makeup and beauty. But the fun thing is, it's just makeup. It's fun. And you do what you like to do, you know? If you like it, if you like strong brows, if you like no brows, if you like thin brows, if you like to wear glitter all over your eye every day, you do you, boo. So I feel like they're about where I want them. I mean, I'm just doing this right before I go to work, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So then I'll just go back in and kind of brush them out one last time to, like I said, blend all that product out. And let's see. And of course, I can't find anything when I need to. Struggle, man. Okay. So then I will go in with, I cannot get my life together today. I can't find anything I need. Start not being able to find anything because you have too much makeup. Well, that doesn't mean not buy any more makeup, just means you need better organization. So if anybody can give me a tip on makeup organization or where to get good stuff, leave it down below because I need some help. I found it! Because I don't put things back where I should. But, am I still recording? Okay, we're good. That would be my luck. But anyway, so this is the Studio Finish Concealer by MAC in NW25. I probably should use a lighter color, but it doesn't matter. But this is what I use to clean up my brows because it's kind of thick. It's not really thin and runny. And I feel like it's more forgiving and cleans it up really quick. And then I take the Sigma E15 definer brush and I'll just go underneath and clean it up. I don't want anything too defined, but I definitely just want to clean it up. So I'll just go right here in the inner and just kind of draw a line until it looks a little bit more fresh and clean. Just take your time, like, don't rush. Good things take time. Good brows take time. So that's basically it. You just go right underneath, and any part you feel needs to be cleaned up a little more, just go back, and then voila. And then the other side, but this is my good sweetie, so I don't have to clean this one up too much. The worst thing in the world is when you go to do this and you're not paying attention and you like wipe your entire brow off. That's sadness. That's true sadness. Or have you ever went to put your false eyelash on and when your hairs were hanging down, you didn't pay attention and you glued it onto your lash? I did that the other day. That was really special of me. So yeah, now that the brows are cleaned up, I go back in with my highlighter, whatever one I want to use at the time. Today I use the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette since I am wearing pink and, you know, going for my Elsa hair, even though she doesn't wear pink, but every time I do this hair I think Elsa. And I'm just going in with Strange, which is the matte lightest color in the palette. Lord Jesus. Right here. So, yeah, right there. I'm struggling today. It's early in the morning. I'm getting ready for work. I didn't get much sleep last night. But, anyway, yeah, then just, you're gonna pat that on because it's still a little tacky. So I pat and then I'll swipe and basically just highlight the brow. And it's really important to highlight your brow because it lifts it up and makes it look fresh and makes you look awake and more alive. Putting that brow bone color on. And then I always take a little more and put it right in the arch and make it more intense there. But yeah, so that was my everyday brow routine. It's what I do on a daily basis. Sometimes if it comes out really good, I won't clean up underneath. But again, if you want a more dramatic brow tutorial, I can do one using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, which that one's a little bit more iffy. You got to be really careful with that one. It's not as forgiving, but there are ways to always clean it up. And my camera is really crooked, so if it's coming off like that, I'm really sorry, but I can't get my life together because it's too early. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you learned something today or was entertained or just had fun, hit the like button and subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.